Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to our Mindset and Motivation series in the month of March. Today is the last Monday in March. Can you believe that? Because it is. Because time is showing us that time is doing what she does, which is fly by. And we're already through the first 3 months of a brand new year because we start a new month this week. Let's dive right into it. 3 tips for moving from quarter 1 into quarter 2. 3 tips for harnessing the new energy around the new season, spring, around the new week, today's Monday, around the new month. April is here on Thursday, around the new moon, like all the new stuff and all that new energy, all that high vibe that's happening right now. Let's harness that and move that into quarter 2. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in and you want these 3 tips, just stay tuned. So last night, I was doing my planning and prepping for the week ahead, as I always do. And over the past couple days, I've really been thinking about the end of quarter 1 and the beginning of quarter 2. I've been thinking about this transition from winter into spring. I've been thinking about new goals and new dreams. Of course, I set big goals and big dreams and encourage my coaches to do that as well. But that takes some planning and some preparation. And you got to write some stuff down if you're doing that. You know how I feel about big goals and big dreams. You know that I feel like if you don't have those, if you don't have something written down and something that you're moving towards every single day, then you're sitting in the passenger seat of your life and you're going to get to the end of your life and you're going to be like, what just happened? Sort of like how you might feel right now, like the first 3 months of the year are gone, like what just happened? And I don't want that at the end of your life. I don't want that for me. I don't want that for you. And to stop that from happening, to prevent that from happening, something we can do is set big goals and big dreams so we can create a big life. Okay, well, how do we do that? And how do we move from goals we might have had in quarter 1 to goals that we want in quarter 2? What can we do to plan and to prep and to stay on track and to move towards those goals every single day in some way? Well, I've got 3 tips for you today. Number 1, I wrote them down last night. Number 1, we're going to assess quarter 1, which means you got to set some time aside. I call it blue sky time. Some time aside to do some thinking, to go back. You know, I'm a hoarder, so I have notebooks and planners, and I go back through my notebooks. I go back through my planners. I go back through my trackers, and I look to see, was I intentionally aligning my activities with the goals that I had set for quarter 1? Did I meet those goals? If I didn't, then what do I need to recalibrate into quarter 2? But we don't know that unless we set aside some time to think on it and to assess. So you have to assess what happened in January, February, March. When you've got big goals for your life, big dreams for your life, when you've got a vision for your life, like maybe you want to move to Florida too, when you got a vision for your life, that doesn't happen by accident. Nothing happens by accident. You know, it's like, you've heard the saying, there's no such thing as an overnight success. We're not going to wake up one day and I've bought my house in Florida. You know, like I got to work towards that every single day. And to know if I'm on track, to know if you are on track to your goals and dreams, you have to spend some time assessing. These are my notes so I don't forget my 3 tips for you. You have to spend some time assessing. Okay, what did I do in January, February, March? What did I do well? Like what did I just freaking slay? And then where can I recalibrate a little bit? Because there's no doubt in my mind, you've done both. You've slayed some stuff and you need to recalibrate some stuff because we're all human, right? And I know I have. I know I've slayed some stuff and I need to recalibrate some stuff. All right, cool. But we might not know that if we don't get a little blue sky time and do a little thinking, do a little journaling, do a little writing, do a little assessing so that we can move forward with a plan. Otherwise, we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and we're just like, okay, I hope this works. Data is like the biggest gift that we can give ourselves. If you will just take the emotion out and look at the data and look at the facts, that is such a gift to help you move forward towards your goals. But if you don't track, you don't know. Tracking is data. Tracking keeps us on track and helps us move forward towards those goals if we take the time to assess. So tip number 1, assess quarter 1. Tip number 2, amplify what worked. By the way, these are all A tips. So 1, assess quarter 1. 2, amplify what worked. So as we know, we slayed some stuff. We need to recalibrate some stuff. here's what humans tend to do. We tend to look at the stuff we need to recalibrate. Very valid. It's kind of like when I used to teach high school English, and I would teach, I had one class one year that was 32 kids. Come on. Like I had 32 kids, all myself, all upperclassmen. I feel like it was my Shakespeare class. I love Shakespeare, but 32 kids in a Shakespeare class, high schoolers, it's challenging. And I might have had 31 of them on point, falling in love with Shakespeare, really seeing how it connected to their everyday life. And then I've got that one kid who was just a jerk in class. And who do I go home thinking about? That one kid. So it's very much human nature to be over here looking at what we need to recalibrate instead of getting over here and going, but I slayed this over here. So I'm asking you that as you are looking at quarter one, moving into quarter two, setting new goals, harnessing all this amazing high vibe, new energy, I want you to amplify what worked. You can only do that if you do step one. You can't do the steps out of order. You have to do step one. You have to assess what was happening in quarter one. And then step number two is amplify what worked. So if you slayed your nutrition, amplify that. Like really take it to the next level. If you slayed your workouts, take it to the next level. If you slayed really being intentional with your relationships, with your parenting, with your personal growth journey, whatever it was, amplify that. Like talk about it, give yourself a big pat on the back, recognize yourself, reward yourself, and then maybe incentivize yourself to amplify that even more in quarter two. The recalibration stuff, yeah, we got to figure that out. But I feel like if we will amplify what we're doing really well, we can crowd out the stuff we're not doing so well with even better habits. You know, so rather than beating ourselves up for not being 100% on our nutrition plan, if we amplify what we are doing well, which is just crushing our workouts and like leveling up in our weights, and we're lifting heavier dumbbells and maybe running faster, stretching more, whatever it is, some of that will crowd out the stuff that we're not slaying quite as much, and it will all sort of naturally even out in the wash, you know. But if we spend all our time over here berating ourselves for maybe what we didn't do as well, all we're doing is creating negative energy. All we're doing is holding ourselves back. All we're doing is having negative conversation with ourselves in our heads, which does no one any good and doesn't move us towards our goals. So instead, after we've assessed, let's spend time amplifying. Amplify what worked. Keep doing it. Do more of it. Talk about it. Recognize yourself for it. And incentivize yourself to level up even more in quarter two. So amplify. It's just like life, really. Yeah, there's negative stuff that happens in life. But rather than seeking out the negative, what if we amplify the good so it starts to crowd out that negative? You could do the same with your friendships. Amplify the people that fill your bucket. Amplify the sources that you listen to, you know, the books, the audio. Amplify everything in your life that is positive and good, so that you still are aware there are areas that we need to recalibrate, that we need to work on, but we're just crowding that out a little bit, and we're amplifying the high vibe energy so much that it makes working on some of that stuff that we're not quite as skilled at a little bit easier. So that's number two, amplify what worked. Number three, activate. Activate in the first week of this new month, of this new quarter. And that means like, just go freaking all in this new month, this new week. Like activate your habits. Really dial it in this week so that you start this week, this month, and this new quarter so strong, you set the tone for the rest of the quarter. I say this to my classes when I teach group fitness. The warm-up sets the tone for the rest of the workout. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't get better, dial it in, level it up, later on in the workout, but often the warm-up sets the tone. And if you come into your workout and you're like, ugh, all right, here I go, I'm moving. It's really hard to generate more energy after that. But energy begets energy. Energy actually creates more energy. And if you're feeling tired, sometimes it's just that you're uninspired rather than you're actually physically tired. And if you will just go all in this first week of a new month, of a new quarter, like this week right here, if you will go all in, it's like going all in your workout of your warm-up. It's like having the most perfect first meal of your day. You're setting the tone. It's like what you do in the first hour when you wake up. You know, if your alarm goes off and you're like snooze, 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 well, you've just set the tone for the rest of your day in that first hour, right? If you start your workout and you're just kind of half-assing the warm-up, you've set the tone for your workout. If you get up and you choose to go off your nutrition plan, whatever that might look like for you, and you eat something that doesn't make you feel very good, you've set the tone for the rest of your day. If you get up and pick a fight with your spouse or are super impatient with your kids, like right out of the gate, you've set the tone for your relationship that day. Why would it be any different in your life, in your week? What if you go all in this week, go all in and set the tone for the month of April, and then do it again in May, and then do it again in June, and all of a sudden your quarter two, you get to June 30th, because let me tell you something, as fast as we got to March, the end of March 31st, on Wednesday, as fast as we got there, you're gonna look up and it's gonna be the end of June, and you're gonna go, holy heck, the first 6 months of this year are gone, like what is happening? That's what time does. She flies. She keeps moving. She doesn't care whether you want her to slow down or not. She keeps moving. So it's up to us to really dig in and take advantage of every single second that we have on this planet. If you go all in this first week, if you activate your goals, your dreams, you activate your habits, the systems you have in place, the structure, all of that, you don't have to worry about getting up in the morning and going, well, I hope I feel like working out today. You don't have to wonder if you'll have motivation or inspiration. You won't have to worry about that because you will have activated your habits and your discipline. And so when you get up, you don't have to wonder if you'll have motivation or inspiration. You don't have to wonder if you'll stay on track. You just will, because you made the decision to amplify, you made the decision to activate, and you are going all in this first week. You're going to set the tone for your month and your quarter right now. You don't have to worry about if you feel like it, because you're just going to activate those habits and those systems that you know work. And you're going to stop putting resistance in your life, because it's such a waste of energy, such a monumental waste of energy. You're going to stop doing that, and you're going to focus instead on just activating the habits that you know create the life you want to create on purpose. And then when you get to the end of June, quarter two, you're going to start this process all over again, and you're going to assess quarter two, you're going to amplify what works, and you're going to activate right out of the gates that first week of quarter three, that first week of July. And that's going to keep it. So instead of thinking like, I have 12 months to reach my goals, we start thinking in terms of quarters, and we even start thinking in terms of months. Like I wrote down here in this planner, in this little gray, those are my April goals. I didn't write my quarter two goals or my May goals or my June. No. Here are my April goals. These are 6 goals that I want to focus on and achieve in April. Very compressed, and also not a complete overhaul, if you will. You know, I didn't say I'm going to save $50,000 in the month of April. Like that's not happening, right? That's not happening. But I could put a savings goal that could happen in 30 days. One of my goals, number 6, is daily walk. Well, that's part of Project 100, is getting outside for 15 minutes. I want to be outside a little bit more than 15 minutes when it's not cold. And so I put on for the month of April that I want to make sure I'm taking a daily walk outside. I know that will get me off my screens. It will give me a break from work. I know it will recharge my batteries. I know it will spark creativity. I know it will spark inspiration. I know it will make me a better spouse, parent, coach, leader. I know it will do all those things for me, but it's just one small, simple habit. It's going to have big change, big results, big transformation, but it's one small, simple habit. I'm not overhauling my entire life. So one of my goals for April is daily walk. I'm not even putting how long that walk has to be. Just a daily walk. That's how simple and small those goals can be, but they can create big change because it's a domino effect. So, Q1 done. Moving into Q2, we're going to assess Q1. We're going to look at that data. We're going to amplify what worked. We're not going to worry about what didn't. We're going to amplify what worked, and then we're going to activate in this first week, this first month. We're going to set the tone for Q2 right now. And that, my friends, is how we're going to slay. That's how we're going to slay. If you do need motivation, you do need structure, you do need a system, you do need habits, you know where you can get it. Join me in Project 100. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. Until the next time, stay strong.